When we switch, then the defense will be playing a lot of, tough straight defense against our offensive team. Any questions? No. All right, second offense and first defense down there. All right, let's go.
Michigan Replay with Bo Schembechler is brought to you by AC Delco, Division of General Motors, Pontiac, the mark of great cars, and Michigan National Bank, home of Michigan Bank AmeriCard. Welcome to Michigan Replay. I'm Larry Adderley. We have a table full of experts for this show, including Bo Schembechler, the Happy University of Michigan coach, and Keith Jackson of ABC Sports. And Keith, since you're the guest on this one, let me get your first opinion of the Michigan State game on Saturday. That exciting, huh?
I thought it was a typical game where the guys down in the trenches try to take everybody's head off before the first quarter is over, and I thought you could see a tail end of the second quarter where that young offensive line that Bo's got over there started to take a little bit of control of it, and it happened again in the second half, and poise, I thought, had a great deal to do with it, the final outcome.
Bo always deals with mistakes, though, when we talk about this, and he's complaining about mistakes they made yesterday, even with their victory. Penalties, fumbles. How many times have you lost the ball?
Well, we've turned the ball over 16 times in the first 5 games, which is really too many. But I think anytime you run an option attack, as Keith knows, he's seen a lot of football games around the country, and you pitch that ball around, unfortunately, sometimes it's dropped. And it's just happened too often with us, and I think that got us in trouble more often than anything else, plus the fact that right at the start of the second half, when I thought we were going to get real good field position with the win, we dropped the punt.
But you're not complaining?
Not when you win, and a win against your alma mater.
I had to bring that up, folks. I kind of thought we could just smooth that right underneath the table. But we have highlights of the game, and some of the highlights in the beginning were fumbles, as each team put on a pretty good drive.
This is Michigan State with a formation of the sideline, and their very fine back, Levi Jackson, on a power sweep. They tried to work our sideline with that formation and did an excellent job early in the game. This is Wilson running a fake pitch and an off-tackle play and fumbled the ball, and fortunately we recovered. We come right back and on a pitch out to Gordy Bell, and we had a lot of room to run in this play. Hetty hung on to the football, but unfortunately we dropped it and lost it. One of our 3 fumbles. Just
changed those 2 fumbles, and State wound up with the ball and got this field goal.
Well, their kicker is a very fine kicker, and he got the 3 points, and Bobby Wood came back to match him for us, and she was a 3-3 ball game here in the second period. Here's another fumble, a great hit in there by our safety man, Hicks, that caused the fumble, and we recover again.
There's your option play.
Here's the option play the way it should be run from an end zone camera. And this is Gordy Bell, who finally runs out of room to run and is brought down by Hunt, their defensive halfback. But we do kick the long field goal here before the half with about 3 minutes left to give us a 6-3 lead.
Did you change anything at the halftime? Were you concerned at all, the closeness of the game or the fact that you weren't able to punch in a touchdown?
No, as a matter of fact, going in at halftime with a 3-point lead, we felt good. We felt that if we eliminated our mistakes, did a little better job blocking up front, that we'd move the football. Their linebackers were moving awful quick. And this is a very, very fine Michigan State defense, as you well know. And we felt still that we could move the football. And so coming out of the second half, we thought we'd win the game, but then the fumble gave them an opportunity to kick the tying field goal.
Were you trying to get Baggett to run more or throw more?
Actually, we worked a great deal against his scrambles. We tried to keep a position on him and not overcommit with our linemen. As you know, he had quite a bit of time back there, but we'd rather, to be honest with you, if we kept proximity with the ball, with our secondary people. We wanted him to throw the football rather than run. And so we didn't pressure him quite as much as maybe we could have, except later on in the game when we got into some blitzing type defenses where we went after him.
And yet people have had success against you throwing the football.
Well, that's true, but as you know, up until our ball game, Michigan State had not completed as a good many passes, so consequently we didn't want the scramble from Baggett, because I think he's a great scrambling quarterback.
And that's what happened on this particular play as we look at the second half highlights. Baggett rolling out, looking to throw, and winds up with a pretty good gain.
Right. Now we had a defense on here where we took a bad course to get to him because our end on that side dropped off. And our tackle got wide and everything. Our linebacker should have widened out just a little bit there. This is the tying field goal that made the score 6-6 in the third period.
This is a good drive by your team now in a fumble on the pitch-out.
Right. This is Leach. Right here's the fumble. We got down in there close, and it's a ball that probably shouldn't have been pitched, and unfortunately, it really hurt.
Big play for Leach.
This is a great football play. We made a mistake and didn't get out on the cornerback, and he couldn't pitch the ball. And just through some real effort, got enough yardage for the first down. It was a very short yardage situation. And I believe this is the touchdown on the pitch to Bell on a power sweep, and he cuts back in here, and once he gets down to the strong safety here, he makes a great move to get in the end zone. This is a typical Bell move right here when he's
got to jump 2-3 yards sideways.
Right. And it was a great run, and of course that's the only touchdown of the day.
And a couple of times in the second half, you were able to open up the middle and get good gains like this one.
This is Lytle breaking up on a 33-yard run on a straight dive play, and our guards were doing a good job in there, and their linebackers were flowing quickly to stop the option, which they did a darn good job. The only thing I wish we'd have scored here, unfortunately we didn't, and we kicked the field goal to go ahead by 10 points.
So satisfying victory as far as you're concerned, because it keeps you unbeaten, keeps you in the Big Ten race, no question about that.
Well, we feel it's a satisfying victory because this is a game we had to win. We think with a young ball club that we're going to get better, and it's going to put us in real good position in the Big Ten.
Keith, are these games more fun to do, the Texas-Oklahomas, the Michigan States, those traditional rivalries?
Well, of course they are, because if you were there yesterday, 15, 20, 25 minutes before the game, there was as much electricity, as much fun, as much as excitement as you had once the football was put on the tee, really. It's the whole atmosphere of college football that makes it so attractive to me. I go out there, I still cry when they play the national anthem after that kind of a show.
I watched you and Bud Wilkinson, and Bud got awfully excited before the game. He said there's just nothing like this.
You come out, you come up for it. I don't think there's any question about it.
All right. We have discussed Bo Schembechler's work from Saturday. We will discuss Keith Jackson's work from Saturday when we return in just a moment.
If you've wanted a Pontiac Grand Prix since the day you first saw one, and year after year you've waited until you could afford Grand Prix handling, Grand Prix styling, then this is your year. Beautiful. And this is the new Grand Prix. Pontiac has just made the car you've been waiting for so affordable. Pontiac, the mark of great cars.
At Lucky Lindy Berry's Appliance, the only discount we offer is on price. When it comes to quality appliances and service, we're first class all the way. You really want to know why they buy from us? Because my prices are cheap.
Today, Lucky Lindy celebrates the grand opening of its new Farmington Hills location with special prices on its complete line of RCA XL 100 solid-state color TVs. Visit Lucky Lindy today. You could win a free trip to Las Vegas.
Keith Jackson travels the country following college football for ABC, and Keith, that is quite a job, taking more work than people normally think it takes. I mean, you just can't show up on Saturday and sit down and do a game.
Lord, no. Well, we deal with 80 different people at least every week. And to cover in pro football is like stealing money. You see the same people year after year and week after week. But we deal with 80, 90 different people every week.
How many people involved in the staff?
It varies, actually, from a regional telecast, which would cover a small area. You'd have a smaller crew. Our particular group, we run between 40 and 50 people every week.
And you had everybody out to work for that Saturday game at East Lansing.
And it takes a lot of work. Actually, the people go to work on Thursday morning early, and a lot of people work at it long hours. There's the crane, which we always like to have because it gives you an unusual visual. With a long glass on a quiet day, you can reach down on the field and get some pretty exciting coverage of it. And it takes more money to really set up for a telecast of this sort than most people think. Very often you're talking in terms of $20,000 and up in order to meet all of the demands of the equipment and the kind of things that you'd like to do. When you're working with a Goodyear blimp, of course, it's not so bad because on a quiet day, this particular machine can give you just one of the most exciting shots in television. Last year in the Sugar Bowl, it was so calm and so still, we were able to go down low enough, and with a long piece of glass, Mike Farmer, who was the pilot here, was the pilot a year ago, and Mike was able to go right down, and we actually used the camera out of the crane for some of the game coverage, and you see it absolutely over the field. And it's the kind of a shot, I'll bet you, that Bo and every coach in the world would like to have because you can see every move that was made. The technicians and the cameramen, of course, spend an awful lot of time getting their equipment ready, and each cameraman is responsible for the operation of his own camera. They're responsible to the engineering supervisor, and the technical director really doesn't become that involved until it starts working. And then in our particular group, it's John Allen, who comes from Granada Hills, California. John begins to take over. And then once everything is working, the conference with the producer, and of course it's been surveyed and all of that previous work has been done before, and then Chuck Howard and Andy Sedaris take over.
Take 5. Mike, you've got one in, right? Okay. Pull it back, Mike. Let me see everything you have. All right. Take one little panorama there. Okay, Michigan will be sitting on the far side, Michigan State on the near side, on the press box side. All the cameras are looking fine. Take 6. Chroma key looks pretty good. Okay, take 5, Johnny, just for a sec to see how it's working. And try 6. Let's see the handheld. Okay, Mike, just pan around. You'll be getting a lot of cheerleaders, coaches, things of that nature as usual. Take 5. Roger Goodman's on the field. We'll be isolating 2 cameras tomorrow and feeding one to either line or feeding a camera either to BTR1. We'll be feeding one of the cameras there to go with the ball since we only have one tape machine. Okay, tape 1. Would you roll to record, please? You got it, tape? Will you give me an answer on that? Hello, Vic? Okay. Yes, they did. We have the blimp also. I can look at the blimp in a little while if I could.
Well, we have it, but...
Well, we're using the monitor for the blimp instead, I think. We have 26 monitors tomorrow. Okay, that should pretty well do it, guys. It's a wrap for the rehearsal. See you tomorrow early.
Now, that was on Friday, and the rehearsal took place at the same time the game was to be played, so that everything was settled.
You're concerned about sunlight and
absolutely,
and
and shadows and things like that. And then later in the afternoon on Friday, you have your production meeting where you set your formats. Here's Bill Fleming being fitted with his earpiece and checking out the lines and so forth. And this particular day, Bill did a cut-in for Wide World of Sports when the band was on the field prior to the teams coming out. Just sort of an 8 or 9 minute scene set. But this was on Saturday, and once the game gets going, then it's pretty much Chuck Howard, the producer, the responsibility of Wilkinson and I to use our eyes up above. That's Terry O'Neill, our statistician, and to my left there, that's Jerry Klein, who is the spotter. Now, while the ball game is going on, and many people are fascinated with this, while the ball game is going on, the producer can be talking to you all the time, keeping you abreast of the playbacks that are coming, the slow motion replays, that we might be going to be cutting away for this, or this commercial is coming, or who's keeping the wine cold, or what time the charter plane leaves, or what have you.
And you're trying to keep a flow of coordinated talk about the game.
But upstairs, we're on view, if you will. But behind the scenes are so many people making decisions on what players to isolate on. The people in the videotape truck must be concerned that we might have as many as 3 different videotape machines isolated at one time, ready for a slow motion replay. And then it's up to the producer to make the decision as to which one he should use. And sometimes we have a moment during commercials where we can confer, if you will, as to isolated shots. The Chiron is a new electronic whiz-bang that enables us to put the supers up a lot faster than we used to, and it's eliminated about 6 people screaming at each other down in the graphics room and made life a whole lot happier. But it's a hectic, aggravating sort of a thing that brings weird people like me and the guys that work with us a lot of pleasure, and we enjoy it very much.
You're doing kind of the same thing that Bo and his staff are doing, coordinating a game at this point, only with a lot more people and a lot more equipment.
There's an amazing similarity.
And
really
less time. They have less time together, I suppose.
Yes, that's right. We get together on Thursday night. The engineering people are in on Thursday morning. They come in Wednesday night at a remote location. I'm always there on Thursday night. The producer's always there Thursday. Director's always there Thursday.
Would you like to take a look at some of the replays and things during the game? Did you ever think about that? Maybe on a televised game, get a monitor at your bench?
Oh, sure, that'd be wonderful, but it's illegal.
Oh. Well,
you're not allowed to do that.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
It's been done. As a matter of fact, it has been done, but there's a rule against it now.
A look back at the Michigan's football past coming up when we return in just a moment, and of course a look at the Big Ten standings and the way things have gone in the last few Saturdays.
I just gave Mrs. Clancy a free shock absorber. AC Delco is making it possible for you to get one, too. When you buy 3 Delco shock absorbers at the regular price, you get the 4th one free. See your participating AC Delco serviceman for a great deal on smooth-riding Delco shock absorbers. Buy 3, get 1 free, wherever you see this sign. It's like getting a free ride for one of your wheels. Go with the names you know. AC Delco.
A short time ago, Michigan National Bank started telling people about the advantages of a 5% savings account that's computed daily. Last month alone, thousands of people switched to Michigan National's 5% daily passbook savings account. Your quarterly account should be paying you interest right about now. That means it's a great time to switch, and it's not hard to do. Just bring us your old passbook and sign these. You don't even have to visit your old bank. 5% daily interest. It's worth switching to Michigan National Bank to get.
Remember when cleaning your silver meant hours of hard work, rubbing and scrubbing until your hands were raw? Well, ladies, those days are gone forever. Now there's an amazing product called Tarnex that foams away tarnish from sterling, silver plate, copper, gold, even platinum and diamonds. Watch how easy it is to clean this badly tarnished spoon. Just dip. No rubbing, no buffing. Isn't that amazing? You know how hard it is to clean deep crevices and intricate patterns. Just wipe on Tarnex. Even deeply embedded tarnish rinses away like magic. Did you ever see a copper cleaner that works this easy? Tarnex will save you hours in the kitchen. This bottle contains more Tarnex than you'll probably use at home in a year, yet it costs only $3. And it's guaranteed to work for you at home as quickly and easily as it does here on TV. Or return it to place of purchase for your money back.
Get Tarnex, the amazing tarnish remover that rinses away tarnish like magic. Available exclusively at all Cunningham's 21.
This week's memorable Michigan replay focuses in on All-American quarterback Harry Newman and his recollections of the Wolverines' undefeated 1932 season.
I do remember the 1932 season. We were an undefeated team that year, won the national championship. Of course, there were some very great players on there. The Ohio State game was one that we enjoyed very much. We defeated Ohio 14-0. It was enjoyable from one aspect, and in that we had been defeated by Ohio the year before, and it was more or less a case of revenge. The other thing that was memorable of the season 1932, I received the Douglas Fairbanks Trophy, which is comparable to the present Heisman Trophy for being the most valuable player in the country, and also the Chicago Tribune Trophy for being the most valuable player in the Big Ten to his team.
And earlier this season at the Michigan-Stanford game, Harry Newman was again honored for his outstanding football career as he was inducted into the National Football Foundation and Hall of Fame.
Big Ten, Bo, looks the same, I guess. Got Michigan and Ohio State.
Well, the one that scares me the most is Northwestern, who's 2-0 in the league, and I wouldn't be surprised, Larry, if they, statistically, they may be the most prolific offensive team in the league right now.
What about Illinois, though? I know Northwestern is your next problem. We can talk about that, but Illinois is a pretty...
I think Illinois is healthy again. They've got Lonnie Perrin back, and they also have an excellent group of receivers. And Illinois has always had a really stout defense. So I look for Illinois to be a real problem as well.
And much was expected of Wisconsin when the season began. They kind of fell on their face a little bit, but yesterday, a late victory. Field goal, last 9 seconds.
They beat Purdue and Lafayette, and of course, Purdue has not won a game, which is really surprising. Wisconsin, I thought probably would win that game by a little greater score. But I think Northwestern and Illinois, Illinois is not a surprise, but I think they're a strong team, but Northwestern is, and I think that's going to be a great football game in Michigan Stadium this Saturday.
You neglected to mention the team just below you in the standings there. They won 49-0, I guess, yes, on Saturday.
Just below us.
Yes.
Well, let's just keep them there. They 49-0 over Iowa. Of course, Iowa is winless too, but nevertheless, there's some great power down there in Columbus, but we have to think in terms of improving each week, getting better, and taking these teams one at a time, see what happens in the last ball game.
All right, one at a time, typical coach's comment.
The old cliche.
The old cliches out. We'll get to some cliches possibly from John Pond of Northwestern when we return and look at the Michigan's next opponent.
Two houses exactly alike, both heated by natural gas. Yet the family in one can cut their annual use of natural gas up to 17% by simply and inexpensively installing 6 inches of ceiling insulation. Now, Michigan Consolidated Gas Company offers you an official insulation program, part of a Michigan Public Service Commission plan designed to hold down heating costs while conserving natural gas. Stop by or call Michigan Consolidated Gas Company for complete details.
The next time you're planning to have bread with your dinner, have Stelladoro breadsticks instead. Stelladoro breadsticks are crispier, more fun, crunchier, more sophisticated, tastier, more exciting, lighter, more impressive when you're making a point, and just plain more enjoyable. What's more, Stelladoro breadsticks come in regular dietetic sesame and onion. Bread, when you come down to it, is bread. Stelladoro breadsticks instead of bread.
Now, from Columbia Records, a thrilling new music collection by the incomparable Mormon Tabernacle Choir. 2 big stereo albums filled with favorites like and many more. A truly spectacular collection, yours for only $7.98. But there's more. Because if you buy now before Christmas, you'll get a 3rd record filled with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir singing your best-loved Christmas carols and songs. Altogether, you get 3 big stereo albums, 30 magnificent selections, all for only $7.98. 8-track cartridges, $9.98.
To order, phone 872-8000 or save COD charges by sending $7.98 for records, $9.98 for tapes to Mormon Choir, 6345 West McNichols, Detroit, Michigan 48221, or phone 872-8000. That's 872-8000.
Northwestern, the next opponent for Michigan. Bo has already mentioned that he's a little worried about the Northwestern offense. They just have a lot of things going for them, on offense at least.
Well, they, in Boykin and Pooler, they have 2 of the best backs in the league, and they've been throwing the ball extremely well. Even against Arizona, when they lost 41-7, they had 25 first downs and nearly 500 yards of total offense. But they had fumbled 4 times, had 3 interceptions, and 3 major penalties that beat them. But I can see this being a tremendous football game because this will be one of the most difficult offenses for us to stop.
Indications, though, that their defense can't do much to stop you.
Well, they shut out Indiana with 8 first downs. I don't know what that means. I think they had great ball possession as well. So hopefully we'll be able to move the ball a little bit better than we have this past week against Michigan State.
We have some film of Northwestern. We can look at that and hear, too, from John Pott, who talks about what his team can do against Michigan, and I guess the problems are on defense.
Well, with our offense, I think that we fairly well confirmed what we thought before the season. We do have a running game. We're not blessed with great speed with our offense, and we have to be a very patient football team in that regards, and one that can't afford to make mistakes. We're not as explosive as Michigan is. From a defensive standpoint, I guess I've just mentioned what we're mostly concerned about as far as Michigan is concerned. Well, there are 2 counts. One, they're a tremendously capable defensive football team. On offense, when they were with the football, we have had a problem with the young man with great speed, the skilled performer in the open field. And I think this is the cause. This is the thing that causes us the greatest concern as we prepare for Michigan. Their speed on offense.
Indications are then, Bo, that if you can get Gordy Bell loose in the defensive secondary of Northwestern, you can do some real damage.
Well, I think we have to, Larry, we have to possess the ball a little more than we have here in the past, and so that our defense is not on the field quite as much. Anytime you play a great offensive team, that's your best defense if you can control the ball yourself. And I think that's what we're going to try to do in this ball game. A little better ball control, a few less mistakes, and the same type of defense we've been playing all year.
And you'd kind of like quarterback Leach to throw the ball a little more effectively.
Well, I think we will. We have to have a little more passing than we're getting, and I think it's just a matter of our gaining the confidence in his ability to throw and our receivers to catch, and because our protection has been pretty good. It's just a matter of confidence, I think, and once we get that, I think our offense is going to be in real good shape.
Keith, does anything from this Michigan team impress you?
The youth impresses me because I'm of the opinion that a team that starts middle of September is not the same team that you play November 1, because a freshman will grow up very fast. He gets up some morning, rubs his chin, and finds real whiskers there and goes out and takes somebody's head off. But I think a freshman, more than anything else, will swing a team, and I should
I think
say
you could
that
say that about sophomores as well,
Well,
Keith.
that's right.
There are a lot of sophomores who didn't play as freshmen that...
I'm very impressed by your team with the simple fact that you've got 4 sophomores up on your offensive front of using freshman tight ends against Michigan State yesterday and a freshman quarterback. My goodness.
Well, I agree with you. If we continue to improve, that's been our goal so far, is winning a big game like Michigan State and then realizing we can play a lot better football than we played up there. Just maturing and doing things a little bit better while keeping the same enthusiasm. We'll be a good football team the rest of the year.
We'll get you back next week and find out what happens. Keith, you're off for Arkansas, Texas. Thanks again for being with us today.
Coach,
nice to see you again, Keith.
Thank you.
We hope you'll join us next week. Thank you.
Save more than $31 on this sharp color TV, sale priced at $228 now through Tuesday at Nom's Catalog Showrooms in Mount Clemens on Gratiot and in Southfield on Greenfield Road.
The Art Van Challenge. Be a smarter furniture shopper and compare. Compare price, of course, but a good price is not always a good value, unless it's on a name brand. And Art Van has the biggest selection of name brands in town. Compare delivery. At Art Van, it's free. Also free setup, free service after the sale. Free at Art Van, that is. Compare financing, too. In fact, Art Van says compare everything. No one else comes close.
Is your son rising or is it a daughter? Then the Expectation Shop is expecting you to see their fashionable dress-up maternity apparel, expecting you to try the newest styles for work or everyday attire. If it's leisure wear you desire, then the choice is excellent too. You expect more from the Expectation Shop and you get more styles, more of everything but the price, which is always moderate. Visit the Expectation Shop near you and let them put a little sun in your life. The Expectation Shop. Join Detroit's #1 news team tonight at 6 on 7.